Hey, everyone, just for here, and back to a new video, and today I'm going to be talking about some new screenshots from Winnie-the-Pooh Blood and Honey 2, and also doing some predictions as well onto some scenes in particular. And also we have a new poster of Cinderella's curse as well. And also a new expected release for Blood and Honey 2 as well. Because we know it's in February, but it may actually be outside of the 14th. But yeah, the first image, which I have seen in general too, that a lot of y'all see, is a young version of Winnie-the-Pooh. Now, I can't really say much of what this could be though, because obviously, again, we still don't have our trailer yet. The first trailer for, we're still waiting on it. But again, we can only predict from screenshots that we were given when it was first revealed, our first looks at it. And I'm assuming this is probably going to be like a flashback. That's all I can say, because this looks like a young version of Winnie-the-Pooh. And in the cast as well, of what I've seen, there's actually a kid that's playing young Winnie-the-Pooh. So, a young Winnie-the-Pooh. So, apparently, I'm guessing this is like a young Winnie-the-Pooh in a flashback. I'm not sure exactly. Again, I can't really explain really what else this could be, though. But it looks like through a glass window, right? This is like at a glass window. Or maybe they're actually touching paw, like Christopher. Maybe the little kid is Christopher Robin on this picture. Not too sure exactly. Next one is Piglet and Owl, and looks like their new lair. Yeah. From what it looks like, it's a lair that most likely they're going to be having. And some people have said maybe in the sequel they're going to be actually talking, since pretty much they broke their vow from the first movie of not talking after what they did to Eeyore, from the beginning, and Poe just saying you left to Christopher Robin. So most likely they could be talking in this movie. And that explains why we have Owl too. Which I'm guessing they're probably discussing having a conversation. Of what that conversation is probably with Christopher Robin. Or about Christopher Robin. Not too sure exactly, but really that's all I can just say though, of what I think is happening in this scene in particular. This scene, which it's hard to tell who this is, that has one arm of what it looks like, and just looks like it came out of the water. There's a building in the background that is destroyed. Now this could be Pooh, but most likely not. I don't think it personally is. Of who this thing actually is, it's hard to tell, of course, right? Because there's really no light surrounding it. So it's kind of hard to tell exactly of who this is. I mean, it could honestly be Pooh, but it could not be. And it could not have one arm, though. It could. We just can't see the other arm. I'm guessing, right? Again, it's kind of hard to tell who this is in particular. The next one is Tigger. When we see Tigger, and I mean, this could be just a screenshot, and right, like they used for the how they made the screenshot. When this could not mean anything when it comes to when we watch or when the movie releases, but who knows exactly of where this is located. Now the next area is where I'm assuming is Poe's lair, right? Is their new lair. That's showing Poe, which I just love this version of Poe better, but showing of what looks like their lair and him sitting in his chair. because we can see his claws that he now has, and again, way much better looking. Like, not sure exactly what could happen in this, but I'm assuming this part right here will mean something, unlike the one where we saw with Tigger, right? I'm pretty sure that was just for lake purposes and nothing sewn for that would be in the movie. At least that's what I would have to say. The next scene has Christopher Robin, the new guy that's doing Christopher Robin. Now this scene looks like we see Christopher Robin having tears in his eyes, so it's kind of hard to tell of what this scene could necessarily be. But it looks like it's something emotional, and Christopher Robin is trying not to, or is starting to cry. Again, it is kind of hard to tell exactly what could happen, because it's also kind of hard with the surroundings too. But I'm sure it's going to be some emotional scene. That's what I can only assume. It's going to be some emotional type of scene, hence why Christopher Robin is crying. And this scene where we see a close-up at Pooh, the vistas of Pooh. Again, this could also be for just screenshot leak purposes, reveal purposes, but this could also be a scene that would be in the movie too, or in the trailer. And yeah, something might if we were to assume that this would be an actual scene instead of screenshot purposes, I would assume that Pooh heard something horrible that have happened and makes him furious, hence the reason why he's angry looking. That's what I can only assume about, and I can only guess that something happened and he's angry. The next scene has a close-up of Tigger, and yet again, it could be for screenshot purposes, but it also could be a scene that will be played out, and Tigger just screaming or opening his mouth very wide, like he's mad. Maybe it's a typical jump scare like scene that would be in the movie. Not sure exactly. The next one has this old man. Now, a lot of people, of what I've saw, probably a lot of people's theories were saying that this guy that we see of the screenshots, the leak screenshots, reveal screenshots of the movie, people say this scene could be tied with Christopher Robin, right? That whole Christopher Robin screenshot part that I talked about. And he could be talking with this old guy that maybe it's somebody that Christopher Robin is related to in the movie. And he's telling Christopher Robin something about Pooh and Piglet and them. Maybe it's something to do with the past or something in their current situation. Not sure exactly. Right. Not too sure exactly what this could mean. But hard to tell, right? And well, of course, quite interesting things I can just say for this sequel, though, when it comes to the predictions in general of Winnie-the-Pooh 2, as I would just call it. And then we have this scene, this screenshot as well, has these two girls that are all bruised and scratched. Looks like this is part of a set, though, behind the scenes. Because we see some crew members of what it looks like in the background. So this looks like something part in behind the scenes of Blood and Honey 2. And also this scene as well, with these two cops in a police car. That's also tied into the movie, the screenshots for the movie. And also this scene this part as well. Most likely another behind the scenes with Christopher Robin's voice, or actor, and this girl too. Which I can't really explain if these are just, most likely these are just props, behind the scenes screenshots and nothing to do what we'll actually see. And this scene, or this one as well, with Pooh just standing in the background, and this probably a crew member just holding this candy something. I'm not sure exactly what that is supposed to be because it's kind of blurry, kind of hard to tell. Y'all would be able to make it out. And of course we have this one as well, where we see Pooh holding a bat with nails. Now we have heard that there was a leak pretty much saying that Pooh is actually going to have a chainsaw. Yeah, there was a leak revealing that Pooh is going to have a chainsaw in this movie. But it also looks like he's going to be having a bat as well with nails. And here is the new expected release of what I've seen, of what I saw before. It said February 14th. You know how I mentioned that before? Well, now, from very recently, it is now expecting to be the 16th. We know it's going to be in February, right? They have confirmed that it's going to be in February. Somewhere in February. But now it's going to be on a Friday. Because again, it was originally, the last time I talked about it was on the 14th, was the expected date. Now it's on a Friday, which normally that's when movies tend to actually release, right? That's when movies do tend to release. So that does kind of make sense as well. Now, if I do recall, hang on, I do want to actually see, when did the first Winnie-the-Pooh come out? I'm curious. When did the first one come out? I can't remember. I know it was February of this year. But what was the date? Okay, January 26th. Right? No. Oh, it premiered in Mexico on January 26th of this year. And the theater release in the United States was on February 15th. February 15th of 2023. And then the United Kingdom on March 10th of this year. But again, the theater, just talking about the theater release, it was on February 15th. So that does kind of make sense that they would have changed it somewhat close to when it did release in the theater. And now we have this screenshot. That is a new poster screenshot of Cinderella's curse. And yeah, we have, she's ready to paint the town red tonight, as it says on the bottom. And we see Cinderella holding an axe and a chariot, or those chariot things just all destroyed. And yeah, it's just, she is just ready though, for real. And again, the expected release date is April. Is in April, just to let you know, of 2024. And I know there is another screenshot I have seen before on Winnie-the-Pooh 2 as well, where it showed most likely another behind-the-scenes prop, but it's in a hospital with some nurses and has Christopher Robin as a doctor, since, again, he was... The whole point of him leaving Pooh and Piglet in the first movie was for him to go and be a doctor, right? So that explains with that, but I might have actually found it. Yeah, I may have actually found it. So, of what I've seen, of what I saw, this is from of what it is, which again shows a nurse with one of those movie clip, whatever they're called, that has Winnie-the-Pooh 2. And we have Christopher Robin's tag in the hospital as well. And We also have Christopher Robin's actor in this movie in a doctor outfit with two guys he's with. So yeah, that's the one that I was talking about that I know I've seen before of some new things from of this. But yeah, quite interesting, I can just say. And again, these are the current ones for Cinderella's Curse and Blood and Honey 2. And again, we are still waiting for a trailer for Blood and Honey 2, which, again, once we do get the trailer, I will be sure to cover it for y'all. Because I'm curious to see how this sequel will turn out. Since, again, bigger budgets. Bigger budget. But yeah, I'd like to know what y'all think. Catch the next one.